to get a job in this country, you need like the grace of God. Number one, let's say you're very favored, it can be easy to get a job, right? But otherwise, you have to do extra work getting a job in the UK, especially now that it's a bit more easier and cold because of Brexit. So many things happen, the EU and everything. So we are kind of like exposed more by the grace of God, and we have more opportunities to go in there and get those jobs. Hey amazing people, you're welcome to my channel once again. My name is Gloria, but today the focus is not about me. Just as you're looking at the screen, just look at somebody else, okay? Today we have a very beautiful and amazing personality in our midst, and she's not other than...
Hi everyone, my name is Sade. I'm a professional and also a fashion designer.
Just counting. There is more.
Obviously there is more, but then I think that's...
Let's be humble.
Yeah, let's
humble
be
in the
humble.
love. You're very welcome. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for coming. See, in this country it's hard to get somebody, but honestly, she's amazing, and I really appreciate her. So this is Sade, my amazing friend, and today we are going to be talking about our declutter episode. Yeah. So today I'm really excited. The essence of the declutter is for us to declutter our minds, our bodies, spirit, because so many topics are going to come in by the grace of God. Our minds, academically, and so many ways, right? Just to help you to be a better, a well-rounded individual. Today's focus is going to be about acing your interview. Right, after you've done the application, the writing, you have to do the job of facing the interview. So that's why we have her here. So today I'm just going to be bombarding her with questions because, well,
hey, Jesus,
she's good. She has the experience. She cannot be here without the experience.
Okay.
So the first question I'd like to ask is, how often did you apply for jobs before you got your first interview?
I think I need to define some of my personality. I don't take no for an answer as much as not doable. If it's doable, I will not take no for an answer. We all know how it's so difficult getting a job, like a proper job basically. So far someone has gotten a job before, I will definitely not give up. That's just part of my own personality, which I think is one of the things that really affects people. I can't even count. I applied for a lot of jobs. As I was applying, I was learning. So let's say I started applying for jobs before I finished my master's degree. I finished my master's degree last year, August 2021, August, September. So I started applying for jobs before I even finished my master's degree. And of course, I would say one of the important things you need is you need someone to guide you through. You cannot do it alone. You might not need someone in a big position, but someone that has gone through similar process before, someone to literally put you through. Definitely you would think of giving up. I tell people that applying for jobs in UK is like a test of faith. They will test your faith so many times. Jobs that you are like overqualified for, they will tell you unfortunately, and you'll be like, oh my god, are you for real?
No, absolutely, I can't relate. One question I would like to ask is, when you were applying for these multiple job roles, right, and you were not, before you get in the interview, something you said that you were learning, right, through the process. Now, what's that learning? What were you doing at that point? Were you trying to adjust your CVs to see, okay, maybe it's going to rhyme with what they want? What was that process like that you were learning through?
I would say that when I came to UK, of course I brought office outfit thinking, oh, I'm going to resume office
And you got the
jobs.
shot.
Yeah, I was like, me, I will not do care. Hey, go for B. So I came in with that confidence. So I started applying for jobs. Funny enough, like the first job I applied for, I think a sales assistant job or something, I got the job. So I felt like, why did they say it's difficult? Getting that job. So that boosted my moral that Sade, you can do this thing. It's easy. It's not even difficult as they even said it is. Do you understand? I had a phone interview when I spoke to the manager and they were like, oh, they gave me the job, I should come and resume. I was like, wow. So why they complain? Why the people say that? So that gave me the moral that getting a job is not going to be difficult. After that one, I applied for another job with was it not Virgin Media or customer representative role. That was when I knew what I was in for. And they were
I
like,
didn't get an interview for that one.
I got an interview for that one.
Funny enough. Nice.
So Virgin Media is a big company. The recruitment process was now different from the other recruitment process I went through. The first recruitment process, oh god, the phone interview, I was sweating. I said, hey, so this is what they're talking about. And then from there, I started applying for other jobs, and I wasn't getting, like, nothing was coming. I was like, okay, maybe it was just by luck. how I got that job. Something about me. The first month I applied, I didn't get anything. Is there anything wrong? I re-strategized, checked my CV. So it's one thing you keep doing when you're applying for jobs, and if you want interview, you keep re-strategizing. Don't be rigid. Be very, very flexible. Like if you see anything that you think is missing, try it. Do it. Most time I tell people that I don't think any recruiter has that time to save your CV in their head,
in their brain.
If you like apply for that job 1 million times, they might never remember that you even applied. Talking to people, LinkedIn helped a lot as well. I would check LinkedIn, check the job description. I kept learning. Number one personality you need is don't give up.
That's the spirit. The last video on writing your CV, I said you have to be mentally ready. If you're not mentally ready to say, okay, now I want to apply for jobs, then writing your CV may be a waste of time, because time is going, things are changing. The time you get in is because your mind is focused and say, this time I must get it. So whether no or no, in quote, like if people keep rejecting you, just get your mind there that I must get it. So thank you so much. I've actually covered some of my questions I want to ask. Nonetheless, we move. Now, what's that motivation? Because right now we know visa want to expire, right?
Yeah. Something must be motivating you as well. Even if you are not giving up, even if you are a strong-minded person, there's still something that needs to be motivating you. I started applying for jobs before I finished my master's. Towards the end of my master's, I knew I was going to apply for post-study visa, even if I get a job, at least just something to like
carry you on,
to carry me on first. Then another thing happened. My visa was delayed, and at that point I was like, oh, I don't have to, I must get a job. I think that visa was even delayed for a particular reason.
Yeah, so keep pushing.
Because I was applying for jobs, but then I wasn't relaxed at the same time, but I was not too determined. But at that point when my visa was delayed, I don't even know what the outcome is going to be. What if they tell me no? What am I going to do? I don't even have a plan B.
Just to make it clear, she was not driven away from Nigeria. So she could go home, but before you go home, you have to also plan yourself. But really, that's not the focus. Nobody really want to come here, except God has placed it in your heart to say, let's go and change Nigeria for good. Otherwise, it's to really move, to take extra grace. So I think that was where that
exactly. Even if I'm going back to Nigeria, to be fair, I don't want to go back to Nigeria because I was denied visa. I want to go back like, oh, maybe I want to go back just because I was going back. Shade, you need to like tighten your belt. 12 p.m. every day. My eyes are shining. Like I
think
myself,
this one is like the strategies.
Those was one of my strategies.
It's another video. Let's not give out the secret. Honestly, you have to beg her in the comments section, please. Oh my God. She has strategies that she used in getting that job. Next question is, when you got the news, congratulations, you've been invited for an interview. Like after so long, and now you got your first interview. Was it a big deal, really?
Yeah, it was a big deal. When I got the interview, it was like I'd gotten a job already. I was like, oh my God. So I would get an interview.
So it was a good feeling to see that thing. That, yes, at least your CV was worth it.
Exactly. At that point, I knew that with my CV is actually not that bad. Yeah. For me to be able to get to this interview stage.
Now, what was the preparation like towards the interview?
The joy, the excitement. Actually, I would not lie, didn't make me know what to exactly prepare for. I felt like I'd landed the job already because I got the interview. I just scanned through. I wasn't even sure. I didn't even know what to do. Like I just scanned through the job description. It even felt like I'd not done an interview before. I explained earlier that while applying for jobs, I was learning. So I got to a stage where strategies are included, like building results. Preparing for interviews is very, very important. The way you prepare for exams in Nigeria, when you like stay overnight, read, and you can't expect someone that wants to interview you to be guessing what you can do. They don't have time. They are interviewing several other people, so they don't want to be giving them back to back what they want to hear. Number one, be organized. What are the things that we're going to read about? Have you read about the company, their vision, the job description in depth, not just glancing through it? You can't go for an interview and reading the job description as if you're reading storybook. Absolutely. Read this word for word. Check the meaning of every single thing. Can you actually do that? Do it for real. Saying. I'm not saying you'll be able to do everything. The main things. Let's say they have like 10 outline job description. Can you do maybe like 5 out of it confidently? Like you can use Google to check other things, and then you would flow easily with the remaining 5. Trust me, because
Absolutely.
those recruiters don't have time. They want someone that can do the job. Be organized. You have to plan. You have to practice and practice and practice.
Now, the place of that practicing. How are you practicing the practice? Are you looking at the mirror?
When you're going for an interview, if you really want the job, even eventually they might not give you the job and they might give you the job, but like act like that your life depends on that job. As you are reading the job description, you are writing it down. For me, like as I'm writing down, it sticks more in memory. I would guess an example for myself from that job description. Give us a scenario when this, that.
Absolutely. Examples are really important.
They are very, very important.
I think the UK, they are big on experience.
Scenarios, like as it happens to you before.
What did you do?
That kind of thing. The next thing, get yourself like equipped for your CV. Know your CV back to back. Don't say that. Actually, I wrote it now. What was there?
Do you know there was the one I did that got me my current job by the grace of God, right? Yeah, I put I'm a YouTuber. Do you know I forgot that I wrote that kind of thing. The woman was not the one that said, "Oh yeah, in your CV you said you're a YouTuber. Tell us about it." I'm like, okay, no problem. And then I talked about I didn't feel it was important. I just put it there to explain one of their core values. But I was surprised that the woman picked on it and now started asking me. But because it's something I love doing, it was easy to flow. So I was like, oh yes, I do that.
Yeah, that happened to me in one of my interviews as well. And the girl was like, "Oh, you can see that you're a fashion designer." I was shocked because I wanted to talk about like why this one.
I looking for things to pick.
Like I was actually lost from there, to be fair. I was lost already. Really? I was like, why are you asking me about my fashion design?
You would have capitalized on it and just said, yes, I bring designs to life.
In fact, like, it
was threw you off.
Exactly. You'll be surprised about the questions they will ask you from your CV.
Just be
you'll be surprised. So that's one of the things like I have learned while doing interviews. Your CV back to back.
Don't what you cannot do.
Go and read it or
read
it.
Yes.
Before the interview. Of course, scenarios as well. Let it be in your head.
Example.
Write it down if possible. Do your drama before the interview. Any similar question that comes to your head, rehearse on it. Whether they're going to ask or not, master it. Make Google your friend.
That's everything. They watch videos online. For me, something that also helped me was watching YouTube. Now I'm a YouTuber, so I absorb so many videos and it's
free university for everybody.
It's so free, like beautiful. Go and learn. Anything is there. You may forget some things, but at least know the basics. Have your water by hand when you're doing your interview. Do you carry water with you?
Yes, I carry water.
Carry the water because automatically you're
as you're talking and then something just keep here. You say, "Can I have a
sip of water?"
And then drink your water. You're thinking, of course, when you finish drinking, they won't expect you to talk again. You say, you can use time and clear your throat.
And your mind is thinking.
And then,
what if at that point your mind is blank? Like, you don't even know what to say.
Speak in tongues.
Yeah, no, speak in tongues.
Because don't let us move the God factor from whatever
no,
we are
God factor is important. Sometimes when you're lost for words, speak under your breath. Just speak in tongues. How many persons were on the panel?
I think it was 4.
But was it face to face or remote?
It was remote.
At least that one eases it a bit.
Exactly.
Imagine face to face with 4 persons. I've only had like remote interviews. I've not had face to face, so I don't even know how.
I had one physical face to face. But I got the job actually.
Really?
I actually did very well in my interview and I really prepared. But I think that one it was a long time already, and now it looked like I was just starting all over.
You know, anything you don't do over time all the time, you tend to forget. And growing up, it was easy for us to say 2 times 1 and 2, you're 2 times table, 3 times 4 times, you know, down to 12 and more. But now go back and say, okay, how many is 11 times 50? Or, you know, maybe 7 times 17. You start calculating like, you know, but this was what you were doing easily before. Just practice makes perfect. But once you don't do it, you get redundant and go.
Interview, I knew I didn't do very well. I was timid. So many things were running through my mind. I wasn't focused. I wasn't sure if I was going to get job or not. So I was just excited that at least I had done interview. That was the only excitement.
That was like the consolation you gave yourself after doing an interview that is really terrible. You need to be mentally prepared for the outcome. Because it can ruin you. But if you've not had the experience before, you may not understand. But you may lack appetite to eat. You're just shaking. You're just
purging.
Diarrhea.
It's purging though.
I may poop for like 2 or 3 times before that interview, if not 4 times. Then the minute the interview is over, I'm fine.
Exactly.
And you be sweating. And in winter or something, just sweating.
I've learned like through the process of applying for jobs.
Yeah.
And now I knew what I was doing. I knew what I could do to get an interview, basically. So now at that point, I was not getting interviews and everything. So when I was not getting interviews, no job again, I said,
so you were doing the interview. So you were now doing lots of interviews.
lots of interviews.
How was your performance? Was it getting better?
No, it was getting better, to be fair.
Nice.
We keep learning during this process. That's why I tell people, when you're applying for jobs, make sure you are learning at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't just do it for
It's a
doing
learning
sake.
curve.
Learn something new. Learn what is working. Study everything. Oh, when I put this, I got an interview. When I remove this, I did not get interview.
Yeah.
So I knew there was also going to be like definitely a strategy for interview.
Gotten a rejection before, which yes you've done, and how did you handle it, and how were you able to now get yourself up to push again and continue?
Plenty rejections. I got a lot of rejections, but I just kept pushing because I've seen people done it before. I had a friend that got a job immediately after his master's degree. So I was always using him as a point of
If you could get
contact.
it,
Like if this guy can get this job, then what's stopping me? That means I can actually get that job as well. So one thing about me is that I'm strong-minded, and once I get that rejection, immediately I'll apply for that job immediately. I'll be like, both of us in this country. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a rejection, I'm going to apply for another one immediately. I just delete that message straight away.
I used to delete it.
Yes.
I don't used to delete it. I said one day I will look back, I'll scroll. I said, see this people rejected me. You're lost. I think it's kind of a similar motivation I have. The minute I got a rejection, you know, after maybe there was one that I cried. That they called me and they called me. And I said sorry. Hey. Because I was just believing that this one, it is mine, no devil. Like I did so well, I believe. And then they say, oh no, sorry. You know, yes, you ask for feedback and everything, but as we were talking on the phone, tears are just coming out from my eyes. If I just sent my husband a message, I was like, I didn't get it, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. He was like, why you say sorry? It was really bad. I moved on. I started looking for another one to apply for immediately. You know, I think that's a good motivation to have. Yes, the rejection came, but turn it around for good. Don't just sulk. If you just sulk and cry and everything finish and say, I beg, this is not for me, Jerry, and you let it go, you don't know if the next one is going to be your testimony.
Yeah.
It's just like the story that they keep saying, someone that was digging the ground. They say go and dig a well. I'm not seeing the water, and then you left and they employ somebody else. The other person just came and dug 1, 2. And the water has come out, or gold has come out. So you did all the work.
All the work.
Close to your progress. Terrible.